and welcome to Go Southern Alberta. I'm Christy Pick, and I'm just catching up on a little bit of reading from one of my favorite books from when I was a kid, Jack and the Beanstalk. And we are down at the Medicine Hat Public Library today for a very important reason, because coming up later on this month is Family Literacy Day. Now, of course, we all, as kids growing up, read books like this and learn the importance of literacy and growing and learning and that sort of thing on a regular basis. So that is something the library is still doing and wanting to continue. So Family Literacy Day is coming up January 27th. They're going to be celebrating on the 24th. We're going to talk to Carol Ann later in the show to find out all about that, as well as a kids craft coming up again later on in the month. Stick around for that and so much more. Let's see what else is coming up on today's show.
After putting on our skis, it was time to hit the trail.
To make this go quickly and smoothly, basically when you're thinking about Nordic skiing, you want to think about transferring your weight from one foot to the other foot.
Teens are busy and they have school, a lot of them have part-time jobs, they're working and doing sports. So preparing healthy meals and on the go is a challenge.
Welcome back to the show. As I had mentioned earlier on, we are down at the Medicine Hat Public Library today. I'm joined by Carol Ann because we are talking about Family Literacy Day. It is coming up at the end of the month. And here in Medicine Hat, all the festivities on January 24th. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, Family Literacy Day right around the corner here. As I said, January 24th. What do we have coming up?
So we're going to do a drop-in afternoon. It's a very similar format to what we've done in the last few years, from 2 to 4, together with my partner Tanya Taylor at Family Literacy through Learn. And we'll have a drop-in afternoon of crafting activities this year for family fun.
Okay, so in the last few years, what has this looked like for anybody that has never participated before?
So we've found that for families that are really busy, Saturdays work really well, and the drop-in format makes it easier for people that already have maybe swimming or some of those other activities happening on the weekend. So anytime from 2 to 4, drop in. We'll have a bunch of different tables set up with different craft activities that you can do, and it's very come and go and make and take and do what you want. Just focusing on having that family fun time, and it could be as little as a few minutes if that's all you have to drop in, and longer. Some people will stay the whole 2 hours and make it a dynamic craft for themselves, and that's great too. We usually have some snacks on hand and just sort of a very casual drop-in afternoon.
The library seems to be quite a bit of a hub for people here in Medicine Hat. You always hear about families coming down doing toddler time and that sort of thing. Why is it so important not just to have kids here in the library reading or adults coming in doing research or whatever it may be, but having the families come down and take part altogether?
Well, we know that the early years are really the most important learning time for children. And of course, parents are their first role models. And so by having that time with a parent, and definitely when a parent takes time to bring their kids to the library, we know that that's the building block for success in lifelong reading. We know that those families are going to raise readers, and those kids are going to grow up to have kids, and they'll be readers too, because that's their family culture.
I know right now technology is so huge. Every kid knows how to use an iPad before they're 2 years old, it seems. Mm-hmm. They're always on iPhones. But as you see behind us, books are still huge. Do you still see a lot of kids with their nose in a book?
Absolutely. And what we're seeing actually, ebooks have really taken off, and surprisingly, I think to all of us, more so with seniors than any other group, because that ebook format gives you scalable text, so you don't have to lift those. If you've ever seen those large print books, they weigh a ton. So e-readers are great for seniors with that, but kids, we're finding, and particularly the picture book readers, like that paper, and they like to touch the illustrations. And there's lots of books where they're tactile books, where there's cutouts in the pages, or maybe touch and feel type things, and you just can't translate that electronically.
I agree. And actually, for our viewers, you may recall Carol Ann was on our channel a little while ago with Alberta Health Services, and you had shown us some of those books, the pop-up books, and those were so popular, especially, I remember them growing up. They were one of my favorites. Finally, this is 100th anniversary for a public library. It is a huge year.
It is a huge year.
And I know that Family Literacy Day, you're not necessarily going to tie the two together, but still, this might be the year to come out and join the festivities, right?
Well, certainly when you talk about the library being a hub, I think even more so this year, there will be events going on throughout the year. There will be special dedicated weekends. If you tune in on January the 17th, which is a Saturday, our board chair will be unveiling all the plans for the year, and it's going to be big and spectacular, and we're just partying for the whole year.
Excellent. If people want some more information about that or Family Literacy Day, where do they go?
You can come into the library anytime. We have our Enriched Program booklet, and we have them available for pickup when you come in, and they're also available online at our website, which is mhpl.info.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, well, stick around. We have a little more coming up here on Go Southern Alberta. There is one other activity happening down here at the library at the end of the month. We'll find out what that is and how you may tame your dragon after this. Well, welcome back. As I had mentioned before the break there, we are now talking about How to Train Your Dragon. Now, you may be familiar with the movie, you may be familiar with the book. At the end of the month on January the 31st, anybody aged 7 to 9 can come down to the library and take part in a craft all about that. I'm joined by Megan now. Megan, the 7 to 9 craft program was something that parents in Medicine Hat actually had requested. So tell me about that.
So we were looking at comments on our Facebook page, and we noticed there were quite a few comments of parents asking why there was not a problem for their 7-year-old, their 8-year-old, their 9-year-old. We have something for the tweens. Usually we have a story time for the younger groups, and they wanted something specifically for that age group. So that's when we started the crafts for the 7 to 9-year-olds, usually on a Saturday. And so far, it's been really well participated in.
I love that. I love that something the library has looked at is what does our community want? What does our community need? How do we fill that void? So this month you have How to Train Your Dragon. So tell me about what this craft is.
So How to Train Your Dragon is one of my favorite movies, and the book is hilarious. So I thought this month's crafts would be inspired by those two. The first craft is going to be a dragon. Here I made Toothless. We're also going to be making Viking shields because, as the movie suggests, the most important part of fighting dragons is having a shield. So I truly invite kids to come out and make their own Viking shield, decorate it however they want, make sure they have Viking symbols. I will have a few books on hand if kids need to be inspired, but I truly think that kids have a good imagination and can use their own creativity.
Okay, so you and I were talking a little bit off camera earlier, and you had mentioned that kids that have come out to this program before have had some wild imagination and have been able to come up with some great things. So you kind of give them a bit of a basis as to what the craft is and then let them go?
Oh, truly. One time we had a minion craft, and you should have seen what kind of minions that came out of that minion craft. One was inspired by Miley Cyrus, one had a big afro, and I truly, truly pushed the kids to, make their own thing. So with this dragon, they'll be able to put whatever color wings they want on it. They can add spikes if they like. They can add extra legs. I truly want it to be their own dragon, what they think a dragon should look like.
That's awesome. Okay, so why is it important to do activities like this at the library? I mean, you think of a library and you think it's good to read, it's good to research, it's good to explore, but why the craft portion? Why is it important to get in there and get your hands dirty with it?
Well, we want kids to feel comfortable at the library, and one thing we're doing at the library is encouraging creativity. We have lots of books where imagination is such a big factor. So having kids come in and use their imagination and see that the library is not just for books, we do encourage that, but also for them to be creative, be inspired, be themselves. We really want kids to feel comfortable coming into the library to be whoever they want to be. And by doing crafts like this where they can take a little piece of themselves and be artistic, then that's just encouraging them, saying the library is a safe place to be.
All right. Well, January 31st is going to be this craft. Where can people get some more information about this or future programs?
You can look at our Enriched pamphlet, which is available both in hard copy here or online. Our website is an excellent place to look for information. You can also give us a call and our library staff would be more than happy to answer questions.
Or maybe the Facebook page where the idea came from?
The Facebook page would be a good place to look. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to post it up. We check it daily to see if there's anything we can help you with.
All right. Well, Medicine Hat spoke, and here we are with the program that's been running since about last March. I think it's fantastic. As I said, the library is looking at what our community wants and needs, and they're providing it. So if you want some more information, you can check it out there. Stick around. We have a little bit more coming up. Good luck with How to Train Your Dragon Craft.
Thank you very much.
All right. Stick around. We have more coming up on Shaw TV. Well, that is it for our show today. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to Megan as well as Carol Ann for filling us in on those activities happening here at the Public Library later on this month. As they had mentioned, if you want some more information, mhpl.info is the website for the library. Again, it's the 100th anniversary. Family Literacy Day is coming up around the corner. And as Megan had said, if there are programs that you're interested in or you were hoping that the library could start up, you can always get a hold of them on their Facebook page and suggest those, or pop on down to the library. If you want some more information about anything that we are covering, we are, of course, on Facebook, Shaw TV Medicine Hat. We're also on Twitter, at Shaw TV The Hat. Thanks for joining us. If you don't mind, I think I see Horton Hears a Who, another favorite book. I'll see you later. Catching up on my kids' reading here at the Medicine Hat Public Library. I'm going to start over.
I'm recording, by the way.